Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Witt, and I am your benefits counselor with Pierce Group Benefits this year. Now, before we get started, I always feel it's important I do two things. First off, thank you for your time today. I'm just asking for about the next 10 minutes of your attention as we are going to be reviewing some major changes to your benefits that are going to directly impact you and your family. Secondly, I always feel it's important I let you know how I ended up in front of you all today. I'm actually a former high school history teacher that taught near a decade. That's also how I met my wife. We were both teachers together, and when we were starting our family, we were faced with some really hard sit-down conversations. And as I always like to say, since she was pregnant, she had 2 votes and I had 1. So she's still in the classroom today, and I was faced with a career change for the first time in my life. However, I realized something about myself that I think is true for all of us that work in education. We have an intrinsic motivation to want to help others, and I knew I needed to find that in my next career, but I still wanted to work with people I care passionately about, which is you all. And that's where I found Pierce Group. They are going to be handling your enrollment with your PIBA benefits, as well as your supplemental plans moving forward. Now, the big thing I'm going to address as we begin is why is there this transition? Why are all your supplemental benefits coming off payroll, okay, folks? Because through Pierce Group, by partnering with us, we are truly a one-stop shop enrollment experience for your benefits. We can handle your PIBA enrollment as well as any of your supplemental plans. And the major thing and why they're coming off payroll is because you used to have 7 different carriers, 4 cancer plans available, which resulted in a lot of folks being confused who their benefits were through, feeling that they might be overinsured, and if they had to make claims, they didn't know where to get support. But by transitioning your benefits to the new benefits providers, it is now truly a one-stop shop experience, and should you ever have to make claims, there's only one place to go, and it pays all your benefits. Now, folks, Pierce Group is a regional company that helps over 170,000 educators across multiple states, helping individuals and families solve problems and provide solutions through the benefits that we're always going to review today. Now, we have some important facts as we begin. Your annual enrollment is running until the end of October. I will be on campus a couple days this week, as well as early next week, to meet with you individually, review your different options, and hopefully make sure we transition any benefits that need to make sure that they stay on payroll. But first off, we will always do what is in your best interest, because sometimes folks have life insurance for many years. It might be in your best interest to find a way to transition that to an individual bank draft, and I'm happy to review all of those questions with you when we get together. That being said, folks, these changes are going to occur on January 1, as that is when your benefits are effective, as well as when your plan year begins and run this that 12-month period all the way until the end of 22. That being said, folks, the easiest way to enroll is make sure you see me. That way we can review all the benefits you might have in place, go over which ones might need to be transitioned and what ones might be in your best interest to keep. That being said, folks, if you are thinking about adjusting with PIBA, bring your PIBA card, know your BIN number, and better yet, log into the PIBA system before we meet so that we don't spend our entire time trying to figure out what your password is or getting a password recovery, okay, folks? That'll just help make us use the best use of our 20-minute session together. Now, folks, today's just a general benefits briefing, a highlight of everything offered to you by the school system. Comprehensive information can be found in your benefits booklet, which is online this year. You can scan this QR code, or you can use the email link that was provided to you in which you access this recording. Now, the first thing we're always going to go over are your PIBA benefits. The health plan hasn't changed. You always have your standard plan option as well as your savings plan, which is sometimes known as a high deductible health plan. Nothing has changed to your health insurance this year as well. Now, dental, there is a small minor change to the Dental Plus, as there's a small premium increase. If you're just an individual in the plan, it is increased by 64 cents a pay period. That being said, this year, you do have the opportunity to adjust your dental, but please remember, whether you switch from the basic to the Dental Plus or revert back to the basic, it is a 2-year commitment. So make sure you do evaluate that before you see us. That being said, your vision has not changed. Every year you get your annual eye exam, and then based on your needs, your materials are covered up to certain allowances. Now, Money Plus, folks. This is when you set aside that tax-free money for your medical expenses. If you're on the standard plan, you do have an MSA available to you for your qualified medical expenses. You also have a dependent care account available for any daycare, before or after school care to summer day camps for our kids up to the age of 13. You also, if you're on the savings plan, have an HSA available to you, as well as a limited MSA. That's for mainly your dental and vision needs. That way you aren't accessing those HSA dollars that you're trying to save for the future, and you still also have access to a dependent care account as well. Now, please remember, if you use an MSA, a money savings account, those have to be re-enrolled in on an annual basis. So make sure you see me. We'll get you taken care of. That way everything's ready to go right on January 1. Now, your life insurance. As a PBA employee, everybody gets a $3,000 benefit paid for while you're working. You also have the option to add additional on yourself as well as your spouse and your children. But please remember, folks, there are some significant tapering off periods once you do leave retirement. So it is always valuable to have some life insurance that you own that can't ever go away on you without your knowledge. Now, one great thing about working for the school system as a PBA employee, you have long-term disability automatically. It kicks in after 90 days out of work, and the base benefit pays up to an $800 monthly benefit for all employees. There was the option to add a supplemental long-term disability with either a 90-day or 180-day waiting period, and you could get up to $8,000 of a maximum monthly benefit. But one of the big things that we've learned is that being unable to work can be a realistic possibility for families. That being said, making sure you have your short-term disability in place that begins immediately if it's an accident, a short waiting period if it's ever a sickness or surgery, can be extremely important for families across the state now. Now, your supplemental benefits are transitioning to Colonial Life. The reason why the school system as well as Pierce Group chooses to employ Colonial Life is because they're a South Carolina company. They're based out of Columbia, and they're the best at what they do in the nation today, and there's three main things that set them apart. These pay regardless of any other benefits that you might have in place. These are paid direct to you, and should you ever leave the school system for any reason, you retire, you may simply switch these right to a bank draft and keep them with you for as long as you deem necessary. Now, folks, look at these green apples down at the corner. Get paid for your wellness. A lot of these benefits, like your other ones as well, have that wellness benefit that when you go for your annuals, blood work, cholesterol, PAP, mammogram, PSA check, colonoscopy, there's 24 different exams. You file it direct with Colonial, they'll pay you that $100 return of premium or $50 benefit, depending on which benefits that you transition over. The one great thing about transitioning to Colonial is if you have multiple plans in place and you file that, it will pay for them all. You're not trying to chase down Aflac to Allstate to Washington National to make sure you get everything back annually. And you can do it now right online, which makes it easy and convenient, and even set up direct deposit. Now, one of the biggest enhancements of transitioning your benefits over is we now have a pre-tax option, just like your Money Plus as well as your PBA benefits. The great thing about having pre-tax benefits is these come out of your paycheck before Uncle Sam takes his cut, which saves you approximately 30% on any benefit enrolled in. Why that's significant is we can hopefully transitioning your benefits over either provide you a comparable benefit at a lower rate because now it's pre-tax, or if that is a major concern for you, we can provide a higher benefit for a comparable rate. Now, you always do have your post-tax benefits. It doesn't mean that we don't like them as much. It just means that it wouldn't be financially responsible to offer them on a pre-tax basis. The reason being something like our disability. If we couldn't work, I got into an auto accident or got sick, that benefit I'm receiving does not count as income, and therefore next April, I'm not hit with an unexpected tax burden because I couldn't work for a period of time. So very specific reasons why we have some benefits pre-tax and others as post-tax benefits. Now, your medical bridge. This has been one of the most enrolled in benefits traditionally because it's your supplement or your gap insurance to your health plan. It's a customized benefit to provide a lump sum payment if you're ever hospitalized, and it builds at $100 a day for a general confinement. And if it's the ICU, it's a $500 a day benefit. Also covers outpatient surgical procedures as well as diagnostic work from CAT scans and MRIs to LEAP procedures to biopsies. There's even a medical treatment package, which will cover you for any ambulatory needs, emergency room visits, to doctor's visits as well. And it covers up to 5 visits for a family, whether it's kids going to the pediatrician, you go to a specialist or urgent care over the weekend, pays you $25 each time you go. And this benefit, a lot of us have realized its importance over the past 12 to 18 months, just to provide that extra layer of security for ourselves as well as our families, as 2020 and 2021 has not been the easiest years on families. And we've learned a lot about deductibles, our co-insurance, those out-of-pocket maximums. And these benefits are guaranteed issue, meaning when you transition them over, there are no health questions. It's just a lateral move and provides you a more comprehensive customized supplement to your health plan needs. Now, the cancer benefit, folks. This is often what I consider the flagship benefit through Colonial Life, as it's often rated as one of the best in the nation today. Now, the big thing about it, folks, is half of all men and a third of all will experience a diagnosis in our lifetime, and I bet all of us have an experience where we know a friend, a family member, a colleague that may have experienced a diagnosis. And the cost of a cancer diagnosis this day and age is so much more than our medical expenses. Now, the only thing I ever hope our family ever uses for our cancer benefit place is that $100 wellness benefit that we file every year when we do our annual. We do it on the phone or online, and it pays us within 24, 48 hours, which makes it really easy and convenient. Our benefit has a $5,000 or $10,000 initial diagnosis benefit built on that will pay before you even make a claim for any medical treatment. Then, based on your treatment program, it will fight with you every step of the way through your radiation and chemotherapy, experimental treatment, medical imaging studies, to surgical procedures, to reconstructive surgery. There's a transportation and lodging benefit built in, not even just for the individual diagnosed, but also for a loved one to travel with them and give them the support they need while they undergo that treatment. Then, your extended care benefits like hospice are also built in, and I absolutely hope those are never needed. One thing I have learned during my time as a benefits counselor, with the benefit now offered to you pre-tax with that wellness, they become beyond economical, and is one I always recommend for every single one of you to evaluate every year. And this is a pre-tax benefit, so make sure you transition yours over to get now that 30% savings. Now, we have our critical illness benefit. Sometimes you've heard it called specified event or critical care, or sometimes you just heard it called as your heart plan. It lines up with many of the others as it covers heart attack, stroke, sudden cardiac arrest, renal failure, organ failure, coma, paralysis, blindness, a litany of catastrophic things. It provides that $100 wellness benefit, and when you pair it with your other Colonial benefits, they all pay when you file it one time. That being said, it is guaranteed issue this year to transition it over to the new carriers. Now, folks, it provides a lump sum benefit of $10,000, $15,000, up to $25,000 in the event of something catastrophic. It's your discretion how those funds are used. Lifestyle changes, assisted care, family support. A year later, should you have a second event, it will pay multiple times. And if something ever occurs and we can't pull through, that benefit is immediately passed along to our loved ones during their time of need. Now, folks, you all have that free life insurance, that $3,000 benefit through PIBA. You had the option to add to it. But once again, that tailors off significantly when we do leave employment, which leaves a life insurance need for us for those whens. There is whole life offered. Now, the big thing, folks, with your benefits coming off payroll, it may be in your best interest to contact those companies, especially if it's outside of about 5 years you've had that life insurance, to ensure that you can keep that and do your best to set up a bank draft for that. However, whole life is permanent. It builds cash value. It's a guaranteed level premium. And a lot of us have learned about the fragility of life over the past 18 months, and this provides lifetime protection for you. You can put it on yourself, your spouse, your kids, or even your grandkids. That being said, it is guaranteed issue for all employees, and why that is significant, because typically life insurance is based on your age and your health. This year, I only care about your age. You are rated as if you are Superman or Wonder Woman to put that lifetime protection on yourself as an employee. Now, folks, your disability benefit. We've already reviewed that long-term disability through the state, a phenomenal benefit to have. However, if I'm unable to work, my bills still come on day zero. And that's why your short-term disability is so important. Now, as we look at the previous carriers and transitioning it over, okay, this one is extremely comprehensive as it covers you 24/7 on and off the job. So it doesn't matter sometimes at work, at home, you're on vacation, you have a second job over the summer, you're covered no matter where you go. There's a extra accidental death life insurance benefit included for free, as well as an accident plan built in that'll pay even if you don't miss a minute of work. I myself had to use that when I was rear-ended. It paid even though they were at fault, as all these benefits pay independently, and I was able to go to work the next day. That being said, folks, people ask me every day of the week, is this something I need to have in place? And the big advice I give to all of you, was provided to me by my mentors, is if your paycheck plays an active role in your family's budget, or maybe you're an individual where your paycheck happens to be the budget, it's highly recommended you always keep some form of disability in place to prevent you going into debt, raiding savings, losing things you've worked incredibly hard for. Now, if the disability is there for you and your financial well-being, the accident benefit is for your loved ones. If you have kids that are athletes, they're teen drivers, they're like my hyenas that are tad accident prone, or you have the spouse that tends to act like a child, phenomenal benefit. Covers them on and off the job for broken bones, concussions, lacerations, to sports-related injuries, to even bee stings and dog bites, and provides a $50 wellness benefit per person covered. And I did not say that enough, but that's significant through any of the other benefits offered, as that wellness pays per person covered, and you file it once, it pays for all of your benefits that you transition over through Colonial Life. Now, you always have your Colonial tools at your disposal throughout the year. File your claims right online, setting up direct deposit. They'll pay within 24, 48 hours. Now, the big thing my wife always asks me to bring up on this slide is, if you are a young woman that is currently family planning, or you might be over the next several years, make sure you bring that up to set up a paid maternity leave for you. That being said, if you already have those set up through the previous carriers, you get what's called credit for time insured when you transition them over. So if you give birth in January, you've had the previous benefits and enroll your new ones will pay. We are never going to take something away from you that won't affect you positively, okay, folks? Now, you always have your PGB app available to you right on your phone. You can get live chat features. You have issues, you need help filing claims. We got an army of folks, and that's all they do, is assist you every day of the week to make sure you do what's most important, which is making your new benefits work for you. Now, you also have your customized website available to you throughout the plan year. Access your online benefits booklet right there. There's an online chat feature as well. Now, I tried to keep this as informative and short as possible, but please, folks, I'm there a couple days this week as well as early next week. Make sure you sign up early, schedule a time to see me. That way we review any benefits you currently have in place. You understand what you have, what we need to do to transition them over. That way you and your family can enter that next plan year with confidence. And thank you so much. I do truly appreciate everything that you do, and I really look forward to building this relationship with you and making your benefits work for you at a truly user-friendly experience by offering that one-stop shop. Thank you so much for your time today. I do truly appreciate it. Have an awesome afternoon, and I look forward to getting to know each and every single one of you.